A Team 12 investigation found more homes in our area may be at risk of flooding than outdated FEMA flood maps currently show, and that concerned many of you at home. Senior investigative reporter Walt Kane reports on what you had to say and how you can protect your home and your family.
Looked outside, and it was literally a river.
Homeowners hit with tens of thousands of dollars in flood damage not covered by insurance, because they thought they didn't need flood insurance or weren't allowed to buy it.
You know, a lot of people said, you don't need it. It's not a flood zone.
As I told you last week, FEMA's flood maps are out of date. Some panels haven't been updated since the 1970s. But even the most recent ones are about 15 years old, which means they may not reflect where floods are happening now. That came as a surprise to a lot of you. Bobby says, whoa, I had no idea. Craig adds, very concerned. New Jersey has been getting severely heavy storms that may last about 20 minutes, but can bring a foot or two of water in many places. He says there's nowhere for it to go because the sewers get backed up right away.
We created our own 100-year flood zone, and we found about 70% more properties.
With help from the First Street Foundation, we provided you with an online tool, Flood Factor, where you could get a personalized flood risk report for your home. Anne's reaction? Well done. I have to get flood insurance for sure. Marcy says, lucky to live in an area that's not prone to flooding, thank goodness. But some of you felt our investigation missed the mark, including Jennifer, who said, with flood zone designation comes mandatory flood insurance. The cost can be crippling. Jennifer, the point of our story was certainly not that more people should be living in flood zones. We wanted to warn the people who don't live in flood zones that they might be at risk and that they might want to consider buying flood insurance. If you're not in a flood zone, the insurance is quite affordable. Problem is, when those people try to do that, there's so much misinformation out there right now that they often have problems.
And we actually got in an argument with our insurance agent who couldn't understand why we wanted to buy a flood insurance policy on our building. We weren't in a math floodplain, and we literally had to demand that he go and buy a policy for us.
If you'd like to see your up-to-date flood risk using the same data I used in my investigation, just click on the QR code on your screen or go to news12.com. I'm Walt Kane, News 12.